What's up guys, this is Astranox. In this video, I'm gonna be climbing in World Arena. So the season is going to end in less than 2 weeks. This is my first account. Speed, Cleave, single target burst is my playstyle. And I use heroes like newly buffed up Straz. I use Blaze Dingo. I use often Terra. I finally have Terra. It feels really good to actually use this hero. Yeah, I was jealous of players that did have Terra and I didn't have the currency when she dropped, right? And I didn't want to get her on, multiple accounts, but that was a mistake, of course, with that 128 base speed. She is quite deadly. So Ran, of course, with Terra is just completely insane to enable Challenger Domino and Summertime Euceria. You can do some beautiful things with that, and I pick Politis often because I don't want the enemy to have her. In terms of like who do I ban, well, I ban Bellion. Bellion is completely OP and nullifies, Tome. 20 souls on each mage is very dangerous. It's very powerful, enabling a lot of stuff for you, and not having access to that is sadly disappointing. And so I just ban Bellion, and if I have 2 bans, then I'm gonna ban someone like Rimuru. And Apocalypse Ravi, I'm able to deal with her, so not that big of a deal, I guess. Proof of Valor, very tanky Apocalypse Ravis, and if you don't take her out and they get lucky with reviving the right hero, it could spiral out of control. So you really wanna have an answer to her, or at least ban her, because yeah, your battles could go from a win to a quick loss because of that. So you gotta be real careful. So as you can see here, I do have Straz. This is the second game. I do have Blaze Dingo in this one. Well, I mean, I might not be going with the best picks, but at least I'm having a good time. And as you can see, Politis is there often. She's pretty much core hero for me. She wears a Guild's Ancient Book and she's just really powerful. It's free damage when they use a non-attack skill. If they have any sort of combat just pushing, that get cut in half. So yeah, it just really allows you to do a lot of stuff. Challenger Domino is able to cycle faster because they use a non-attack skill. The free attack from C-Dom that hits everyone. Get a few crits here and there, pushing the CR of C-Dom, and then she can just lap the enemy even more. And I mean, she's like the hardest hitting hero in the game, so you can just one-shot heroes like Apocalypse Ravi. Feels really good when that happens, but you do need the high base speed heroes with your best speed on. So in my case, I'm using Ran, I'm using Terra, and the follow-up into the C-Dom is just great with Terra, especially because you have attack buff. A reliable way to get attack buff, unless maybe, well, they have a Celine and you can't bait her. You don't know which EE she has, so she could be attacking a random hero. Maybe you get unlucky, C-Dom gets popped, something like that. I like to bait her into Summertime Euceria, which is built more tanky, and it's a 50-50 chance for her to just straight up miss, which means like it's guaranteed that she will be surviving. But even if she crits, she's at elemental disadvantage, so she might be surviving Summertime with like almost 15,000 HP. Sometimes it works out for me. So just a trick for you guys. You could be triggering her and to a Kayron, maybe an Arbiter Veldred. So that's always fun, but you need to have the highest attack, and she needs to be using the exclusive equipment that targets the hero with the highest attack. So it's a gamble, right? And it could be risky. Definitely could be risky. But most players usually go with the EE because, they sort of want it to be reliable. But not everyone's going to go that route, so you just got to be careful about that. So Terra, man. Oh, man. You get the turn 1, they have any form of CR pushing. They won't be able to pull it off if you put Restrict on them, but like DJ Bazaar will get their team out of that and push them still, so be careful about that, right? And here, oh man, we got Pavel. We got Light Pavel, and if you do have the right combo, and you were able to bring that combo along, stuff like this can happen. And it's just great. It's just great when it does happen. So Ran and Terra, not a combo that you can just pick for your first 2 picks, because then it's gonna be heavy with debuffs, which means that the enemy can just go with a Designer Lilibet and a Champion Zerato. They can double up, have both of these heroes, and you're gonna have some problems. Yeah, I mean, debuff activates some heroes, and you gotta be careful about that. Like right here in this battle. Is it happening in this battle? Wait, no, it doesn't. Later on, I think. There's another battle where it does happen. So, you have to be careful. You don't want to give away your strategy. I mean, I'm doing it now, so if you guys are playing against me, you will know what type of strategy I'm trying to pull off. Some players are confused with which account I'm playing on. They're not too sure. They don't know which playstyle I'm gonna go with. They don't remember like my name and stuff like that. Which one is which account, which playstyle is that name and stuff like that. So at least I got that going for myself. But as I push along in the ranks, you know, this video is the push all the way into Master, but after that, when I hit, you know, Challenger and I get into Champion, well, hopefully it shouldn't be that bad, right? I have not been climbing for a while now, so things have been changing. The meta has changed, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do have answers for a lot of different stuff, so I feel pretty good about it. There's not that much time left, but I'll try to do a push the next few days, and maybe I can give you guys, you know, some tips. Might help you guys if you play this type of play style. Maybe you get a better understanding who you should be focusing on. And like I said, like I like to ban Billion. She's just way too dangerous. But if you have trouble with Apocalypse Ravi, you need to ban her. Like she's gonna mess you up good, right? Especially if they get lucky with the right revive. So there's going to be other heroes that you could be banning. Like Rimuru is I mean, he's not fatal, but if he triggers, right, using like you open with like Pavel, you open with the Ran, you know, you pre-buff with S2 and to the S3, Rimuru is gonna trigger, right? But Ran is gonna survive because he's got skill nullifier. It's just their team is gonna get attack buff, their team is gonna get immunity, so that could be bad. But the problem is that when Rimuru is fast and he might be built on penetration set, he might be hitting hard enough and he might be able to one-shot like a Pavel. But you know, if he's fast enough, he's gonna be able to jump ahead of your team, ahead of your other heroes that are going in your rotation, and then he can pick someone on your team to, you know, to delete, to defeat. So that's dangerous because if he just takes out the next hero in your rotation, if he takes out a hero like, well, I don't think he's gonna cut a Challenger Domino. He could do it. Then like they would need a Politis to make it so your CR pushing is not as strong, but then like I wouldn't use a non-attack skill versus Politis team with a remove like that. That sounds really fatal. But yeah, I like to bring Sid for the speed imprint, but also like just great damage. If they're not too tanky, you know, with layers of protection, Aureus defense buff, then Sid's gonna be able to pull it off. Like someone was softened up, he can finish that target and then work on someone else, or maybe potentially defeat 2 heroes. That's really good when that happens. So I really like Sid. You know, it works out real good for me as I push into like Challenger and like Champion. I know a lot of players have like 300 speed and up without needing a speed imprint, so that's the problem. When I get to that point as a free-to-play player, it gets rough because then I have to bring a speed imprint every time, and if I have to do a speed battle versus another player, they might not even need a speed imprint. And you know, if they take Ran, they take Terra, maybe they take it, and I can't take those heroes. They have my best speed. I might have to double up on speed imprint if they go with 1 speed imprint too. Like it gets really tricky. Maybe I get just lucky on the initial, you know, CR roll when the battle starts, or maybe they get lucky and I get unlucky. So you know, there's a fair bit of RNG in the game. On turn 1 with that, there's the, you know, when you're trying to land debuffs, sorry, you got resist here and there. That's problematic. What am I doing here? Why am I not doing my attack? Like, man, am I gonna take the skill nullifier and potentially stunner, or am I gonna go against this Apocalypse Ravi? This Apocalypse Ravi is what, on Crimson Seed? She's gonna like dispel the debuff if I land it. Like, there's problems like that. Crimson Seed on Apocalypse Ravi, a timeless anchor that's even worse when it gets like triggered all the time, because it can happen multiple times before they go. Crimson Seed can only trigger one time per turn. So, you know, Apocalypse Ravi wearing it might be using like a speed set on penetration or something like that instead of like counter penetration. So yeah, there's a lot of RNG in the game, and you know, having your debuff or debuffs resisted can be really dangerous if you're relying too much on defense break versus a certain like tanky hero like Apocalypse Ravi, and it doesn't stick, it doesn't stay there, and you can't pull off the burst, and yeah, she can take you out. They start taking your heroes out one by one with the revive, with the skill null on that hero. That hero, if it's a support, imagine is like, you know, I mean, any Soul Weaver, right? That's pretty good. Let's say at the end, I mean, I'm not seeing Ruel. I haven't seen Ruel for a long time, but that hero can keep Apocalypse Ravi in the battle longer. It's gonna be really dangerous, man. Like, you're just gonna lose because you're losing steam. You don't have the juice anymore to just like, you did your trick, you know, you one trick pony, you did your combo skill 3, skill 2, whatever, it's gone. Stuff is on cooldown, you're just, you know, using basic skill 1 attacks, and at that point, yeah, out of steam and out of luck, and it's pretty much good game. So yeah, you gotta be careful. But like I said, Challenger Domino is just like a very powerful hero that makes things happen. And she's just reliable. If there is no one to contest her non-attack skill, I mean, sometimes you might have to just gamble it and not use the skill number 3. So you probably doesn't have her built with 100% crit chance, but because that defeats the purpose of having a crit chance buff, then you gotta gamble on the Soulburn S1 without having the 100% crit chance. Had to pull that off sometimes. You know, they might have last pick a Selene, or you know, something like that. 4th pick, 5th pick a Selene. I had to ban someone else that they picked. I don't know, maybe an Arbiter Vildred that I couldn't counter with the heroes that I went with. That's also a problem. Arbiter Vildred, right? I can counter him with Sid. I can counter him. There's various ways. Maybe you have stealth, you survive the damage. Maybe you have immunity from like from Ran. And then you have stealth, so you survive the damage. Maybe you have skill nullifier, stealth, you know, cutting the damage that you take in half. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it allows you to just take that hit, that S3 when he comes back to life, and that allows you to win. If you have especially like more than one hero alive, maybe 2 heroes with skill null, 1 on stealth, 1 skill null, stuff like that. Like, it allows you to win the battle, sort of like seal the deal. Bloodbed Karen's dangerous because if you don't have like 2 or more heroes that can remove a buff, her immunity, then she could wipe you out, and that's gonna be nasty, man. Kairon, if you can't take off the immunity, he can like up someone, extend immunity. Yeah, he can extend the immunity buff, he can extend the immortality buff, and then he, you know, combos into the S1 that attacks your whole team and wipes you out. Now he has evasion buff, he was buffed up, and I need to showcase him actually. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna just straight up showcase him. Actually, I'm just gonna put some gear on him and have him in some World Arena battles or something like that. We'll see what I'm able to pull up, because a lot of times, you know, I'm trying to showcase a hero, and the reason why I do it often in Arena is because in a World Arena, that hero might get banned often, or like going for that hero is just not smart. It just doesn't work. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. You're just gonna lose, right? So, I mean, you're tanking your ranking, or sometime I didn't climb in World Arena because, I mean, it's a lot of work, right? Like, I have to do it on multiple accounts if I'm doing showcases on different accounts, because I have 5 accounts, right? I pull heroes, new heroes on different accounts because I'm free to play. So it's like so much time investment to just push in a World Arena everywhere, right? Wish I could, but like sometimes the hero is just really bad. The hero just doesn't work at all. Just underperforming, and if I just bring the hero along, if I force myself to pick the hero, it's gonna be bad. Or maybe the enemy picks the hero, that hero gets pre-banned, that hero gets ban phased, or that hero is the last in the rotation and my team already wiped out their team. Like, you know, there's a lot of different situations where it just doesn't work at all. I'm trying to get a video out ASAP so you guys can, you know, get an idea of how the hero performs with max skill up and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think about all that in the comment section. That's it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now. If you want to see my stats, it's in my previous videos. At the end of the video, you can see the stats of my heroes.